If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
It's a Monday, right?
Yeah, it's a Monday.
It's one of those things, you know.
It's a Monday.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Morning Crankers.
Welcome to the Cranker Showers.
It's, it's Monday.
Yes. Monday.
Everybody's feeling that way. You want to know why?
Why?
Because when it's really cold and crappy out on the weekends in the wintertime, it's not so bad going into work.
No.
At least if you work indoors, especially.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? But here, we had a beautiful weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Beautiful. I mean, I'll tell you what, Sunday night, you could definitely feel that front come in.
Oh, yeah, the storm.
It just dropped. Dropped like a lead balloon.
Yep.
Dropped like Kamala Harris's hopes towards the end.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Just dropped. But how was your weekend?
The weekend was pretty good.
Yeah, what'd you do?
Work.
The working man blues.
I do got the working man blues, that's for sure.
Speaking of blues, the Reds fans for a long time had some blues. And the reason that they had some blues was because Pete Rose was kept out of the Hall of Fame and he had a burden on his record.
Yeah, he did.
A burden. Okay. So,
it's a gambling burden.
He broke the rules, right?
Yes. Yes, it was a gambling burden.
Okay.
I'm knocking the mic over.
Yeah. Well, it's a Monday.
It's a Monday, fun day.
Yeah, hang on.
Yep, we got you. I'm there. Okay.
Okay, so,
bring it in.
It was one of those things that we had to do. But, is there some vindication now? Like, okay.
Finally.
Okay, well, hang on. Now, this is vindication for Cardinals players, or do you think this is a win for Major League Baseball?
It's a win for Major League Baseball, but I also want to bring up the fact that what Trump...
We're talking facts. That's...
Yes, like I said, this story needs reeled in because I know a lot about this.
Okay, well, I mean,
it's right up my alley.
We should just announce it first. And before we announce it, we're going to talk about some weird stuff today.
Yeah.
Like wigs.
Sure.
Okay, we're going to talk about a awesome boxing match that happened.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about this kid that wants to sue a school that was an honor student. We'll get into it, but you're going to want to listen. And then in Seymour, Missouri, a woman got sentenced for stealing stuff while in state prison. What do you think of that?
That's just totally nuts.
I don't know. It just kind of... more on Monday stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to be interested to hear this.
So we move on, and we're at Pete Rose. That's what we're talking about. Good old Pete. Well, what was his nicknames?
Oh, Pete? Charlie Hustle.
Charlie Hustle. Was that hustling the Vegas boards, or was that hustling the...
No, he ran harder than anybody coming out of the batter's box. That's the reason why he got the name Charlie Hustle.
I'm telling you, you watch Pete Rose's stuff, and he was just an amazing player.
I'm telling you, and he played up till he was almost 50 years old. And
he had to cover the gambling debts.
Well, oh, Jesus. We're going to go that direction. No,
I really don't have anything bad to say about the guy. I think that you got to remember the time that this was going on.
Yeah.
Vegas and Reno and Atlantic City, those three places, that was the only place that you could bet.
Yeah, you didn't have all these other, like, FanDuel or anything like that,
Right. Well, I mean,
sports
even
betting
the Bible Belt has sports gambling now.
Yeah.
So different time. If he was to do this today, it would have been a completely different thing. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. What I was going to say is, he was known, I'm going to go over that too. He was known as Charlie Hustle because of his hustle. And I think he was given that nickname by a former Red Sox. I want to say it was Carl Yastrzemski or somebody gave him that nickname. It was a former player. You can all look that up.
Charlie Hustle.
Yeah, but Charlie Hustle. And I remember going to games where I was a kid and I saw him as a player manager back in the late 80s when he got a triple. Probably his last triple of his career is what I saw. And, he literally hustled out of the box.
That's awesome.
And he was 47 or 46 years old.
Okay, so I'm 46.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, I've been a working man my whole life. Shoulders, knees.
Right.
Now, I know what he did was physical. Now, I do know that they also got the best medical care in the world, so it's a little bit different. But, man, 46, 47, hustling out of the chute like that. I mean,
Yep. He's the only player manager in Major League Baseball history, too, by the way.
Really? I did not know that.
Yep. And
maybe I'll see that in the Baseball Hall of Fame one day.
I'm hoping so. As long as I see Pete in there, I will go. I've always said that if Pete gets his rightful place, and I'm going to tell you why he deserves his rightful place in the Hall of Fame. It's his accomplishments he did on the field. It's not what he did on the betting side of it. Now, the thing is, I would have had a real major issue with Pete if he would have betted against the Reds. But every one of his betting slips, he betted for the Reds, just like Trump,
okay. So he bet
like
or he
said.
bet it. Is that a double plural or is it actually bet?
Bets.
Is it bets,
Yeah.
bet, or betted?
I want to say bets.
Because I think betted is past tense.
Yeah.
I think bet can mean dual plural.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
You could be wrong. Could be right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm right. I was watching Neil deGrasse Tyson say this the other night, and the guy's like, "You said that wrong." And it's like, "No, it's a double plural, man." And he's like, "Oh, well, I'm learning stuff,
Right.
Yeah.
No, but you can't take away what his accomplishments were on the field.
I don't think you can. Nobody else came close.
And Trump nailed pretty much every comment he made. I've said the same thing in the past. He never got caught with betting slips where he bet against the Reds when he was player manager. He actually was betting.
Let's explain that
Reds.
for the people out there that have never gambled before.
Right.
What that means is he never bet against his own team. So he couldn't throw a game. He couldn't do something bad.
It's just like Trump said. He was betting on his team to win, okay? You're not going to never place a bet on your team to lose.
Right. And the only problem that I could see arising from that is if somehow magically you had somebody on the other side that would take some of your winnings for throwing a game. But he just wasn't like that.
No.
He was having fun. Was it stupid? Yes.
Yeah, it was stupid. But I think he loved Cincinnati Reds so much because he grew up in Cincinnati. He was a Reds fan when he was a kid.
Right.
He loved the game so much that he loved the franchise of the Reds so much that he couldn't bet against his own team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's very
because his love for his own local team is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, I can see that. I mean that's a very fuzzy, very homey, very fan-sided idealism. But I do believe it.
And I believe that because sincerely, I've heard Rose talk about how much he loves the Reds and he wishes this would be the year that they could go back and win a World Series. He talks about this constantly, and every time you see him, he's wearing hat? He's not wearing a Phillies hat where he played at. He's not wearing an Expos hat where he played at.
No, I see him wearing a Brewers hat one time.
But he did wear a Brewers hat. Yeah, yeah. He's going here. I'm laughing. But
I didn't know one time if it was a Cardinals hat or if it was a Reds hat.
Oh, geez, he won't wear a Cardinals hat. I'll tell you that. He did like Bob Gibson though, and I know he's talked good about Bob Gibson.
Well, you know what I think? I think that the reason that this should come, is simply because
we live in a different era.
Well, it's not just even a different era. Even if it was this era and whatever, people should have a second chance. Now, this is post life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is different. This is an honorary thing for him to, go forward saying, you know what, this guy was a really awesome baseball player. And I'm very happy that they're doing it.
And if the Hall of Fame wants to put an asterisk next to his name and, in the Hall of Fame, so do it.
Did they do that with Mark McGwire and Barry Bonds?
No.
There's no asterisk.
I don't think so.
Even though the performance-enhancing stuff.
Yes.
So there's no asterisk.
I don't think they placed an asterisk next to their name. They've talked about
Jose
it.
Canseco.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know they talked about it, but I don't think baseball ever did put an asterisk next to it. But
I mean, you go listen to Darryl Strawberry
Yeah.
and listen to what he says out of his own mouth that he did.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, my gosh, Pete Rose is a saint. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Comparatively to some of these guys, if you listen to what they were doing. Yeah. So, I'm kind of glad about it. You know what I mean? It's one of them guys that everybody knew our age.
I've heard other former players like Will Clark used to play for the San Francisco Giants say that if Pete Rose ain't in the Hall of Fame, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Because he had more hits than anybody.
Well, who would you put in before Pete Rose? Like if we were to start new, the Bambino, obviously.
Hank Aaron.
Who else?
Willie Mays.
Yeah. Cy Young.
Cy Young, definitely.
Yep.
Babe Ruth. Did you say that?
Yeah,
one?
the Bambino.
I think he goes in as a pitcher, too, because a lot of people don't realize Babe Ruth started out as a pitcher for the Red Sox.
And he was actually pretty good.
And he was very good. Guess what his record was?
What was it?
100 wins and no losses. I am not kidding you. You can look this up. 100 wins, no losses. That's impressive.
Man, I wish your dating record was like that.
It's the other way, but, it's all right.
No, I mean, so there's not very many people that you would put in before him.
No.
He's top 20.
Yeah, and the closer generations that we are now, because we're talking about players that were from the 50s on back right now, what I'm mentioning.
I mean, if you take all of the best, like the best, doesn't matter the era, from the beginning, he's in the top 20.
He's definitely, I think he's top 5, but that's...
Yeah, I could make a case.
Because he's the all-time hitter. I mean...
I'm going to say top 10.
I mean, you've got to have your all-time home run hitter first. You got to have your all-time hitter. He's got to be second because he's the all-time hitter. And he led it, and he had the most doubles, most singles, most triples, I think, than any other player. I know.
Does he have the most triples?
Actually, I'm going to take that back. He has the most walks, most singles, and most doubles.
Well,
And he's made more outs than any baseball player, too, because he's had a lot of at-bats.
Well, that's true. That's true. I mean, you have to take that into consideration with his skill. He had a very long career.
Very long.
So, and that kind of pads some stats. You know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I'm going to say top 10. You're going top 5. I'm going to say top 10.
No, actually, I got him in my top 2, so I got him right there with Hank Aaron. I've got Hank Aaron 1, Rose, and Ruth, and so on and so forth.
I don't think you can put.
I don't think you can
put Rose over Ruth.
And then I'm gonna put Ty Cobb 4th, and I'm gonna put Cy Young 5th. That's my top 5. Try beating that
Man,
one.
it's
a hard one.
Okay, first of all, if I was to take your list, Pete Rose would be all the way at the bottom. But I could see I can see a world where I can agree with that to a point, if you know what I mean. Like, you're not out of the realm of normalcy there.
No, I mean not at all.
If you don't look at anything that they did off the field, and even the Bambino.
Oh, he had his struggles.
Oh, he had some addictions.
Yes.
One of them was ladies.
Yeah, and I think a lot of his was because I believe he was an orphan kid.
He was.
And I believe that had a lot to do with a lot of his drinking problems and a lot of
drinking, among others.
Womanizer. He was a womanizer.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to be a womanizer if they're willing to be womanized.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Is it bad to be a womanizer if the ladies like the womanizing?
I don't think so.
Because that makes a difference, right?
It does.
Okay.
To me, it does anyway.
So, I mean, you know what? I'm glad it's happening. Pete Rose, I'm glad that's getting lifted.
And I did want to leave this. I almost left this part out. Okay. Trump is not pardoning Rose for the Hall of Fame. He is pardoning from his tax evasion. I believe that is exactly what the pardon's about. I think it's just to open baseball's eyes to.
Well, here's the thing. I have some questions. I want to know.
Right.
If you don't register your car,
yeah,
and you don't pay your personal property tax, is that tax evasion?
That's a good question.
It is. I want to know if that's tax evasion, because here's the thing. I read that report. 47% of all of Greene County has either unregistered or improperly registered vehicles. 47%. So could almost 50 or half
Right.
half of Greene County be guilty of tax evasion?
Pretty much.
You know what I'm
under
saying?
under the local laws, yeah. So yeah,
Well,
that's the unfortunacy.
as long as we're on the whole sports kick here in the morning, right?
Right.
Did you happen to catch anything about Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach?
I just caught a little bit.
Well, Gervonta Tank Davis, I think, is one of the best boxers. I wouldn't put him as the best, but, there's not a lot of good boxers right now comparatively to the glory days.
Right.
Okay? However, that man is tough, okay? He goes into this thing against Lamont Roach, and Lamont Roach is no slouch, okay? The guy's got one loss, very good, and I'm a huge boxing fan. Like, I probably like boxing more than anything else.
Right.
So they go into the Barclays Center in New York, right? Gervonta Tank Davis is like, he should win, and he should win handily.
Right.
It's supposed to be that type of fight, right?
Right.
So Davis took a knee in the opening minute of the 9th round so he could go back to his corner and wipe his eye after complaining that grease from his braids was bothering him.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so listen, the guy's got a belt, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the rule states if you take a knee, that's a knockdown.
Right.
Okay. It should have been a knockdown. Now, nothing against Gervonta Tank Davis. I think he came into this fight as like a trap fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So he comes in there, and this other kid, and I hate to say kid, but he's literally a kid. He's got one loss. All right. He goes in there, and it is just a super competitive fight, like super, super competitive.
Yeah.
At the end, it's a draw. Okay, so let's get into the other side of this from a Pete Rose perspective.
Right.
Okay, now, me and you go to Vegas, and me and you are playing. Or you know what? In Missouri next year, we don't even have to wait.
No, it's coming.
Right, so we're sitting at our house in our living rooms in Springfield, Missouri, Ozark, Missouri. Okay, and we're betting.
Yeah.
And you know what the rules are, and you base your betting, okay, real money here.
Right.
You base that on the rules.
Yeah.
And then this happens.
Ooh.
And he takes a knee. Now that's, the rules.
Right.
Okay. Now, at the end of the fight, they didn't call it a knockdown. And at the end, they said, well, it was a draw. What do you say about that?
I think that's wrong.
Well,
Because I think once he took a knee, that's definitely a knockdown, because once they drop down off their feet, that's considered a knockdown. No matter if they take the knee,
right,
or whatever, that is a knockdown considered.
Well,
most fights, I'm just being honest. That's
Roach hit him 112 times.
Right.
Davis hit him 103 times.
Okay.
So, I mean, pretty close, but the Roach, the guy that wasn't supposed to do anything.
Right.
Now, he was more active. He threw more punches, don't get me wrong, but sometimes that style in boxing, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I just thought it was...
Oh, well, Hans, I got a joke about this thing. Why did Tank Davis bring bug spray to the fight?
Why is that?
Because he heard he was facing a roach.
It was so funny before this fight. Did you see all the jokes at Mr. Roach's expense?
Oh, I bet.
Okay, the only good thing to this, and I hate when this happens, but it's the only good thing we can talk about.
Right.
And because we're a sunny sky, glass half full type of show,
yes,
there's going to be a rematch.
There should be a rematch.
Well, there should be, but do you feel comfortable betting now that you see what's happened?
No, not really. Boxing kind of took a back seat after doing this number.
Well, it kind of has, and it already had a bad
gambling,
reputation.
At least on the gambling part. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to watch boxing, but, man, this can't happen again.
Well, listen to this. So this Gervonta Roach comes in there, right?
Yeah.
He's facing Tank, okay? You know Tank has a 93% knockout rate?
Wow. And he never knocked him out at all.
Never. It was super competitive.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you could have argued for either person, but when you don't take a point when it should have been,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
That should have been Roach's match.
Right. Well, it should have been an 8-9 round.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then at the end, you know, I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
Right.
Okay. So finally, you know, we're finally done with that, right?
Well, we are.
Well, it is National Read Across America Day.
Which is a good day.
It's a great day.
Yes.
Okay. So it's also used to be Dr. Seuss Day.
Right.
But I'm sorry, but they kind of canceled that.
Maybe Mr. Trump can pardon Dr. Seuss.
I think that we should put a thing. Morning Crankers asks that Dr. Seuss be pardoned
by President Trump.
because every kid loves Dr. Seuss.
Oh, most certainly.
Have you ever met a kid that didn't?
I haven't. I love Dr. Seuss. I still love Dr. Seuss.
See, that's why radicalism is so crazy on both sides.
Right.
Like, literally, radicalism took stuff off of things that we eat.
And radicalism is the real Grinch here.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Can you say anything from the book? Any Dr. Seuss books?
What is it? Green eggs and ham.
Well, green eggs and ham, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I think that was like my biggest thing.
Well, and green eggs and ham day is coming up pretty soon.
Oh, wow.
You know, Irish Day. That's what I call
I
it.
kind of like.
What do you call it?
I just call it St. Patty's Day.
Well, St. Patty's, Irish. Well, you know,
Yes.
St. Patty was actually English. You know, that's the funny part. You know, it is what it is. It's also National Soup It Forward Day.
Yeah.
I just had soup yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, what'd you have?
What did I have? Oh,
Frozen pizza?
KFC.
KFC. Okay. Well, that's not too bad.
No, I can
KFC,
do.
you got like the mashed potatoes and gravy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Mashed potatoes and gravy and the coleslaw there.
biscuit.
Oh, biscuits. Yeah. Oh. And then they had a Mountain Dew this last summer that you could only get at KFC.
It's the, what was it? My
Southern
son liked
Mountain
that
Dew
one.
tea or something.
Yeah.
Lightning tea. It was awesome.
Lightning, I think is what it was.
It was amazing. But yeah, yesterday, the wife made, I better get this right?
Yeah, if you mess this up, you're in a lot of trouble.
It was corn, bacon, potato chowder.
Nice. Okay.
And it was wonderful.
Sounds wonderful.
Okay, and you're a chili guy.
I am.
You know, I understand that you're from...
But I like all kinds of chili. You know that.
Oh, yeah, you do. But you have this thing for, you know...
But yeah, I've got a thing for the chili dog in Cincinnati, which is the cheese coney.
Well, so I did some research on this.
Yeah, okay. Here we go.
Where was the chili dog invented?
Probably Chicago.
Detroit.
Detroit?
Detroit. They used to use beef heart.
Huh.
And they would grind up beef heart very small, and then they would put it in a slurry and they'd let it cook.
I never would have thought that because as much as everybody talks about the Chicago dogs, you know. And,
You know, that's crazy. Okay, how about corn dogs?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Corn dogs. Now, they did originate
From Chicago, right?
from Springfield, Illinois.
Boy, wow.
Just outside. There's actually now
So it's the sister
there's
city
a
of
big
Springfield, Missouri.
controversy.
Mm.
If you're from Oregon, there's a town out there that claims to be the first to have the corn dog.
Oh, wow.
But if you're from Illinois, watch out. Don't
Yep.
say that. You'll get smacked. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get hurt if you say that
Yep.
to those people.
They'll be laying the smacketh down on you.
It's National Mulled Wine Day. National I Want You to Be Happy Day, man.
Hey, man. Are you happy here?
Oh, of course I'm
I
happy.
know, it's Fun Day Monday, right?
We get to do this lovely show. I mean, I love
doing
this.
show.
You know, I love my family. I feel like God's treated me pretty good.
Oh, he has.
You know what I mean?
He's treated me very good.
Right. So, yeah, I'm happy. And I want everybody else to be happy.
Yep.
Unless you're trying to be the person that's happy that wants to make other people unhappy.
Yeah, don't be that Grinch.
Yeah, don't be that. Otherwise, you're going to go, whoosh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen. Yeah. It's also National Anthem Day.
Nice.
Yeah, we're very patriotic. We love our country. We love the people in this country.
Yep. I love them patriotic walks once in a while.
Oh, yeah, the flag walk. Yeah, it's a
Yes.
big thing.
I love it.
And, you know, I should have said this one because National Anthem Day is the most important day. And then probably National I Want You to Be Happy Day. You know, and then National Soup It Forward Day. You know, it's one of those things. But, man, oh, man, National Cold Cuts Day.
Ooh.
Okay. There are some times when you throw a big sub cold cut in front of me, and it's going to be better than a steak. Like, I'm talking like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You worked really, really, really hard that day. You're just stopping because you got more work to do. Is there anything better than a cold cut?
No.
At all?
Especially in the summertime.
Well, there can't be.
It's something simple, quick. Get in your fridge and just put it together and eat it.
Okay, so are you you just tell me what kind of meat you like.
Oh, I love the honey ham. Like,
Oh, you're a ham guy.
I love ham.
How about pastrami?
I'm not a big pastrami guy.
What?
I know.
What?
I know.
Where are you from? There's just so many good cold cuts.
There is other good cold cuts, though. I love it.
Okay, how about, do you consider smoked sausage a cold cut?
Yeah, it can be.
Okay, that's my thing too. It can be.
It depends on how it's made.
But sometimes it doesn't measure up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, sometimes you just fry it up in a pan real quick and boom, throw it on a loaf of bread and go with it.
See, I'm kind of the same way with donuts. Okay, we've got apple fritters.
Yeah.
Then we got cherry fritters.
Yep.
Then we got blueberry fritters.
Yep.
Right? Now, somebody has decided that they wanted to make a peach fritter. And I just don't know if it makes a cut.
Right.
Does it to you?
I don't know. I don't know if it makes the cold cut.
See, cherry fritter.
Yeah.
Then apple fritter.
Yeah.
Or it could be blueberry. It just depends on where it is.
That might.
Right?
I think that's going to leave the warm cut for me. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Well, I mean, because it's National Cold Cuts Day,
Right.
I would do a honey ham. I would do some salami.
Yeah.
I would do pastrami. Then I want smoked turkey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That sounds really good.
Look at that. We are in the studio. We are looking at some.
The screen's full of goodness right now, folks.
If you put that in your mouth right now, it would melt.
Yeah, that would go on a sub.
Oh goodness! And look at the edges of this. Oh my goodness! How about this? It's National Cold Cut Day, and I know what a cold cut is. You know what a cold cut is.
Yeah.
Do people think pickle loaf is a cold cut?
Some people do.
See, I don't consider pickle loaf.
I don't either.
I like pickle loaf.
Yeah.
But it's not a cold cut.
No.
This came out as some meat magician's store, right?
Oh, okay.
Now, here's the thing. A pickle loaf, unless you're somewhere where people actually make that as a cold cut, which we've been around, it's usually getting compressed in a big machine somewhere and some subpar stuff that they couldn't sell as a whole getting chopped. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Am I wrong about that?
No. It sounds dead on.
Yeah, okay. Well, it is
man,
what
that
it
looks
is.
good.
Oh, man, it does. Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
You go for it, man.
Sad news. We lost Gene Hackman and his wife, their dog. They were all found dead. I'm sure everybody knows this by now, but
yeah, I mean, he was found in trying to go outside.
Yeah,
like in a porch area. His wife was found in a bed surrounded by pills.
Yeah,
and the dog was in a closet.
None of this adds up.
Nothing, and I thought for sure I was like carbon monoxide.
No,
and it wasn't. For sure not.
They already tested it. No.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of speculation out there. I won't say anything, but you can all Google it.
Well, what was his most favorite movie that he did to you?
Oh gosh, he had so many good movies. Come
on, just pick one.
Oh God,
you liked him as Lex Luthor, didn't you?
I did. He was the best Lex Luthor.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
But I'm going to go back to Mississippi Burning.
Yeah, I mean, that's even older, I believe.
Well, he was a tough guy. You know what I mean? Like, when we were growing up, how you look up to people?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was a tough guy.
He was.
You were good to
Played
the
in
ladies.
a lot of good Westerns. Tombstone, I think he was in.
That wasn't Tombstone.
What was the other Western? What was the Western he was in? Quicksilver?
Unforgiven.
Unforgiven.
Yeah, he was the bad sheriff in there that made Clint Eastwood angry.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. That was good.
You're a cowardly son of a... You remember
That's
that
two good actors right there.
Oh, that was great.
Man.
The Royal Tenenbaums he was in. I mean, there were so many. You can't pick just one, but if I had to.
Yeah. Now, who's your favorite actor?
Of all time?
Of all time.
Ooh.
We just mentioned mine.
Oh. I can't pick.
Clint Eastwood's mine.
Clint Eastwood. I love Clint Eastwood. But, you know, there's some new guys like, what's your favorite movie of all time is better to ask.
Oh, my favorite movie of all time. Wow, this is a real toughie, too, because I've got like 2 or 3 that I'm like...
Right. See, I like Forrest Gump a lot.
You like Forrest Gump? I'm more of a comedy guy, of course. And a lot of people either like this movie or they hate it.
What is it?
Austin Powers Goldmember. I love that movie. Only because it's got so many great one-liners in it.
See, I like Austin Powers, but I actually don't like that one as much as I like Get in My Belly.
Yes.
You know, that was The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Yes.
Yes. So, but there is no better movie than Thank You for Smoking with Aaron Eckhart. Have you seen that one?
I have not.
Okay, I'm not going to spoil. I'm going to have you.
I'm going to have to
watch that.
And you want me to give me the take on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he works for a big tobacco company.
Okay.
And it's so funny. He goes in at the end, and they're just railing on him about the tobacco industry.
Right.
And this Vermont senator comes up and he says, "Hey, you shouldn't be doing this." And he looks at him and he goes, "Oh, you're the senator of Vermont, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "And you're telling me about heart disease?" He goes, "Isn't the number one cause of heart attacks in the U.S., and he goes on and he says, "And your state makes Vermont cheddar," which is clogging up the veins of, you know what I mean? It is so freaking good. But, you're going to have to watch that this week. We should do a review on Friday.
Right.
For people to watch.
Yes.
Okay? Yeah. So, anyways, it sucks about Gene Hackman, but, he was like 95 years old.
Right.
And I'm glad he left us with a lot of material to, kind of reminisce, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Now, I think we're going to leave this one for Tuesday's show. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, but we're going to talk about this one.
Yeah, this is definitely looks like a good story to talk about.
Yeah, Seymour, a woman has been sentenced an $800,000 fraud scheme to get student loans and tax refunds.
Unreal.
A woman from Seymour was sentenced in federal court on Friday for a fraud scheme in which she used the personal identity information of her fellow inmates in state prison to get student loans and tax refunds.
Unreal.
According to the Department of Justice, 56-year-old Renee DeLon Klaus was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison without parole for this shenanigan.
Wow.
Federal prosecutors say Klaus fraudulently obtained federal education loans of 18 others totaling $285,000.
Jeez.
In addition to more than $500,000 that was sent to the educational institutions for a fraud scheme that totaled, get this, $804,434.
Gee, man, Christmas.
Klaus also fraudulently obtained IRS refunds of 10 other people, totaling $53,174.
Unreal.
You know what I want to know? I want to know how she got the information. Excuse me. Not enough coffee this morning. Sorry about that.
Yep.
That means 10 individuals, 53,000. That means that they're averaging $5,317.40, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How many people do you know that get that much back?
No one.
I must have the wrong accountant or something.
You got that right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because who's getting 5,310 people? Hey. It says authorities say she continued her fraud scheme even after she knew she was being investigated by federal agents and after agreeing to plead guilty. That's why she got the 10 years.
Right.
Because, I was doing it. I was, but she actually was continuing. A little weird for you?
That is weird.
Okay. So we're already at 34 minutes and 10 seconds into the show.
Wow.
I don't think we can get into these other two things. We got a wonderful thing that you have to know about wigs.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, we just can't do it. We can't do it today.
We'll have to do it for tomorrow's show.
Okay, folks, stay tuned for tomorrow because we're going to talk about some things that you have no idea, and you might not ever put a wig on your head again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
After I read it, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it kind of like
Makes you cringe.
Yeah, it does. Well, I hope your day is beautiful, wonderful.
Yes. Enjoy this Monday fun day.
Yeah, have a wonderful day, folks. We love you.
See you tomorrow.